once you're free to, you know, be whoever you want to be in the game, it helps you kind of sink into that character.
It's a cool way to be to, yeah, attract those like-minded people.
Something nerdy is gonna happen, and we're gonna make it cool, I think.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Talkin' Nerdy. And as you can see, there's a rune bear behind me. There's an explanation for that we will eventually get into. But with me today, I'm really excited because I've wanted to go back to video games, which was actually the first Talkin' Dirty episode that I did. And I thought, what better way to do that than do that with a friend, somebody that I've known for quite some time at this point. But I have totally Kaal, who is a Twitch streamer and just overall amazing human being. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Absolutely. I mean, you're Canadian, so like I don't think I know any bad Canadians. I mean,
No,
everybody's just so nice up there.
I've got my shirt just to make sure everybody knows. A lot of people find it very interesting, though. I don't know. It's an easy conversation starter for sure.
Yes. Now I really want to kind of go back because I know that you've been doing this for a while, but there's a lot of people, I think Twitch streaming is in some cases very similar to like a podcasting journey where a lot of people start it, but then for a lot of people, it just never goes anywhere. And they have difficulty like launching and keeping it going. But what made you want to start doing it in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun journey. I've started pretty much back in. I've always kind of like I was never a PC gamer. I was always kind of a console gamer, and I know that a lot of the streaming side falls on the PC side of the world. Like I know there are streaming apps on like PlayStation or Xbox, but those apps are pretty not well optimized. So, but I mean, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of interesting challenges that come with starting streaming and staying with streaming and my I had a buddy, a brother from another mother who streamed long before I did, who hasn't been streaming a whole lot lately, but definitely had like inspired me or made me see the fun side of streaming. Rester Brooks was kind of one of the inspirations that I've had for sure. He helped me. He put together my PC parts list in probably like April, May, June of 2020, and then we started buying parts. He was living in Nova Scotia, and I was living in Alberta, so he pretty much sent me a PC list, and I started to buy all the pieces as they were going on sale, and then I finally got the last piece and put it together and started streaming in like August 2020, kind of a little bit into COVID season where everybody seemed to kind of find a new hobby. Everybody had a whole lot more time to discover to fill their days. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of started around that August 2020, and then sticking with it, like you kind of lean on your friends at the very start. You're like, oh, hey, I'm starting to do this. Come check it out if you're interested. And maybe every now and then you'll get somebody random show up who's interested in what you're doing, and it just kind of snowballs from there if you're doing the right steps. But
Yeah, it's
not,
it's hard because I mean, I've watched or tried to watch different streamers for a while. I mean, I've been into Twitch and stuff like that, but I'll be honest, like the vast majority of streamers that I've watched, there's just nothing that really grabs me. It doesn't even have to do with the game because honestly, you play a lot of games that aren't things that I would be interested in playing. But
yeah.
I think that like you seem to have found this niche in your approach and the way that you interact with the chat that I think makes it interesting. Was that kind of an intentional approach on your part, or is it just something that kind of happened?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I mean, I tend to classify myself as kind of a variety streamer, which is a challenge on its own because I found that as you stream different kinds of games, there's different people are looking for different things online. Like people either want to see really good gameplay if they like go to watch like Apex or Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever. There's like the professionals, right? There's the guys and girls and non-binary pals who stick with it and play these games like day in, day out forever. And like that would be brutal for me. Whereas I kind of enjoy a different variety, whether it's like Pokemon or Dark Souls style or new games, old games, arcade game, like anything, retro, brand new. I don't really limit myself. So the I try to make an atmosphere to no matter like the target audience that I try to chase or that I try to create an environment for people to come up or to come in is basically uh you want the lifers, you want the people who are there for the streamer and not necessarily there for the game. Sure, you'll pick up people along the way who are only there for the game, but the value comes from, or like the value of streaming comes from meeting people who want to meet you and like interact with what you're doing. So that was a big lesson or a big metric that I kind of gauge success on is are people there to talk to me about the game or like are people there talking to other people who are also there? Like, is there a sense of community? Is there a sense of communication between all the people that are there? Or is it me having 10 different discussions with 10 different people? Like I'm talking about to person one, person two, person three, and then person one, two, three. Like, are those people all talking together or am I talking to them separately? And I really kind of gauge the health of the stream based on the interactivity, the interaction between the people
Yeah,
who are there.
exactly. And I think that's really important because, another thing that I find unique to yourself and some of the others that are kind of tight knit in the community that you've developed is that there's so much interaction in chat and it's not just amongst people who just happen to be there, like everybody knows each other. And I think that that's really incredible. Like I don't think I've ever watched any other streamer outside of you and like the group of friends that you have that also stream that
Mhm.
have that. Like usually it's just random people maybe talking to each other, but like it's really a bunch of friends together.
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of community that comes up for sure. Like when I first started streaming, you look if you're on the outside looking in, you're like, oh, this person's just playing video games. So why don't you just play a video game yourself? Why are you there? But once you dive in, you start to realize that people aren't necessarily there for the game. People are there for the people who are also there. And also you may be interested in what's going on. So I definitely put in a lot of effort to try, and it may be a combination of effort and uh, undiagnosed anxiety or something like that, but I definitely try to remember specific details about what's going on in people's lives at that current time, what the past discussion that I've had with them, did they get a new pet? Did they get a new car? How's their new job? Like, what's the weather like where they are? Is they tornado warnings or something like that is a big one right now. So, um, or connecting with them about something that's important with them in their life. Like, are they going to a bowling tournament? Do they have pets who are going through some stuff? Like it can really be anything. And a big part of my effort goes into like trying to establish a connection and not just having people come in, comment on one thing and never coming back. I try to open the door to, I want to get to know you. I want to have discussions with you. Yes, we're playing a game and yes, like we're doing funny things or we're succeeding or we're doing whatever, but like I'm also kind of getting to know you. There's two things that are kind of progressing there. The gameplay that I usually just do whatever we're doing and then trying to meet new people and establish like deepen the friendships and relationships that we kind of develop when we spend as much time together as we do.
Yeah, for sure. And kind of speaking of that, like I know I've obviously I've followed your stream for, over a year at this point, and I feel like in ways we've had similar journeys in terms of like subscribers, followers, and trying to like build up. And I think, you really hit your stride this year. Like it feels like more than any other time there was a big boost and it's gotten like, way bigger. What do you think was the biggest key to that happening?
Yeah, that's another great observation, another great question. I definitely tried to focus. I think a big realization that I had kind of like, and it happens a few years into streaming too, is that you're not just like you aren't the only one who are going to succeed. You need to succeed alongside other people too. So when you introduce yourself. So like if you're having a great stream and you're sitting at 20, 25 viewers or whatever, however many people are there, you try to like if you're ending stream, there's that function called rating where you can show up to another person's channel and introduce yourself. Or if you kind of have a foot in the door, you go in and you spend some time with them. You bring your people who you're great friends with across to them and try to develop a little bit of rapport, or develop a relationship, or develop a friendship, or observations, or anything. So networking between people is a big factor that I've tried to implement here this year, especially like late 2023, early 2024. I was lucky enough to be introduced to this amazing group of people. They're spread out all over the states for the most part, but it's the relationships and the friendships and the opportunities that have come out of that have, you're right, have really increased all the numerical metrics, as well as like enhanced my life in a whole bunch of ways, right? Like not only is the stream doing better, but you're also meeting friends who I'm able to play multiplayer games with, who I'm able to collaborate with, who I'm able to like discuss private things. Like I'm now like very close friends with a lot of these people who I met within the past 6 months, and like we chat almost daily on like personal things outside of stream too. So there definitely has been significant effort in creating a space where they feel like other streamers feel comfortable coming into my space, bringing their people, introducing their like lifers, their great friends, their people who come for them, and bring their people over to here, and vice versa too. When we're done, we extend an olive branch to either friends we've already made, new friends, or somebody brand new. Like there's so much networking and social opportunities, which people who are in this kind of sphere, like they claim that they're bad at it, and some people it may not be their strongest skill, but so like networking and being social is such a powerful tool. And it's honestly, I think it's honestly essential for success in this kind of sphere, right? And same with yourself, like your channel, you're outside the box and you're talking nerdy to me. These channels, you've talked to a variety of different people, whether it's different teams who compete, whether it's different people in different industries. You're right. You collect people who are interested in the topics that you're presenting or you're talking about, and word of mouth, like somebody likes what they see, so they suggest you to others. So that's, we're kind of trying to do the same thing in different industries, whereas like the streaming is a little bit more live, and the prepared, or the podcast and the YouTube side is a bit more edited and tailored, but they're very similar in what they're trying to accomplish.
Yes, exactly. And I think similar to probably the way that I feel about my community, like I said earlier, I don't think you could have found like better people. I mean, like I didn't think for, for anything. I'm like, oh, cool. Like I watched Totally Cal and he's awesome, but I don't think there's going to be like other people I'd want to watch. But everyone is like just as engaging and interesting, and especially when you do collaboration,
Mhm.
I think that it just makes it even better. Like what, I don't know if you have a secret for finding these amazing people, but I'll tell you what, like they're incredible, and I hope they're watching this because they need to hear
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I don't want to name specifics, but again, I've been super lucky with the people that I've had the opportunity to like. The only reason I don't want to name specifics, I don't want to leave anybody left out in the event that I don't name anybody. So, but yeah, you're right. The opportunities that I've had, the people that I've had the chance to meet, there's a lot of like luck. There's a lot of like luck of the draw, like the opportunities. It's so random who you have the opportunities to meet. But I mean, I also work like a normal, like 8 to 5, like 9 to 6 kind of job. So I do spend a lot of my time during that day. Like I'll just have streams up, and where possible, I'll try to like make sure they know I'm there. Just like, hey, hope you're having a great day. Like just kind of participating when I can. There's so much networking there, social reinforcement that needs to like that. Maybe that doesn't need to happen, but that I value, that I try to show that my friends, that while they're succeeding, like I want to be there to support them. And in the event that they like what they see when they come by me, then I can hope for the same kind of thing. So the people that I've had the chance to meet, I have had very few negative, I guess, incidents. And the people that we choose to keep around, or the people that we choose to continuously support, have given us like no reason not to. So it's been a lot of fun. We've had some big laughs here pretty recently. It's been really good.
We have big laughs, and I think like really big moments. I mean, I know it wasn't that long ago that you had just the craziest hype train that I've ever witnessed in my life. I mean, for those that don't watch Twitch or like are familiar with how it works, I mean, hype trains sometimes happen where, you know, people are gifting subs and like bits and things like that, and it, you know, if they do it more, then it keeps the train going, and it just wouldn't stop. So I think that was a really amazing moment, and I was so excited to like be watching and be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very exciting thing to happen. Like it's to me right now, it has never like it's never been about the money. The money has been great, and we choose to put the money back into either production value or charity, or just making sure that we have the time and the resources and the equipment to do what I want to do. But you're right. When you're streaming and there's a hype train going on, it's a very humbling experience. You're like, I don't it whether it's gift subs or bits or any other opportunity, like all you can really do is just sit here and say thank you. Like there's really not much more you can do in the moment. I definitely try to those who participate in those actively or regularly. I definitely try to reach out after the fact and let them know that I very much appreciate it. It's obviously never expected, or obligation is never there. Like it, anything that you do is appreciated, and I'm thankful for the opportunity, and I'm thankful to have met them. It's they're they are a bizarre experience, because you just kind of sit there and you're just like, you just need to let it happen, and you're in the moment, and you know that it's an exciting moment, and you're trying to foster and reinforce that this is an exciting moment, but it's such a bizarre experience that you just need to sit, like you just need to continuously say thank you and show that you're sincerely grateful, and that you're continuously trying to make an environment or make a space that people want to spend time with. It's a very directly measurable metric that shows that you're obviously succeeding. You're doing something right. People like what you're doing. So it's a really cool thing to see.
Yes. Now I want to kind of shift to talking about games and different things like that, because I think, you know, obviously one of the things that drew me to watching your channel in the first place was Pokemon Infinite Fusion. And, you know, it was something that I was like, what, this is a thing that even exists and you can make other Pokemon. And anybody who knows me obviously knows like I'm just a massive fan of Pokemon. I've gotten every game that's come out since I got into it in the first place, and so this has been a fun thing for me, because luckily you've kind of continued that in the like, you know, streamer friendship, you know, type of thing, where there's still that element of it even though you're not really playing it anymore. But I'm curious to hear, because that was really a big thing for a while.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, I think the Pokemon Infinite Fusion, or like the Pokemon stuff, has I have to be very thankful for that. Like I've been with Pokemon for 28, 29 years, and I mean, I have two sides of a coin here. Like I have my professional side, where like I'm an engineer by day. I sign drawings. I do all this like super boring day job, like cubicle stuff. And then at nighttime, you just kind of flip a switch, and I'm a guy who knows Pokemon for 30 years and plays all these Dark Souls games. And it's really two sides of the same coin. Like it's very bizarre lifestyle to live, but it's really cool that I've been able to leverage the time that I've spent, not the time, the money, and the interest that I've invested in Pokemon, I guess, to begin with, that it allows me to leverage it to continuously engage with people, whether I'm playing a Pokemon game directly, or it's just like incorporated into stream assets, whether it's like badges or emotes, or like the raider tier list of friendship, like you had mentioned, where it's basically if another streamer raids over to our stream, there's a function where I roll a Pokemon and they roll a Pokemon, just like a randomly generated Pokemon from within Pokemon Infinite Fusion, and then we show the upper, like the fusions that can happen from the Pokemon that are rolled, and then I present an opportunity to that person to be like, do you want A or B? And then I've received a lot of compliments, or like a lot of comments, I guess, on how interesting that is and how cool that is. To incorporate so much like Pokemon stuff. We don't just do Pokemon stuff, but I definitely have very strong roots in Pokemon, where I've met a lot of like really amazing people, a lot of like lifers, a lot of people who I'm very thankful to have met, whether it's yourself or your partner or so many other folks as well. Like I really have a lot to be thankful for, and I'm thankful that the time and money and interest that I put into Pokemon has been able to be has resulted in tangible results, I guess, has resulted in like budding friendships from the streaming side of things. So it's been really cool.
Yes, 100%. And it gives me an opportunity to say Zapdos sucks every time you stream. So
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah. And if he's not here, I'll agree. If he's not here, I'll agree.
Now you've done some other fun things with the stream. I know one of the things that I personally enjoy, obviously, is the bingo. And I think a lot of other people do too. And it's, it has several layers to it. I mean, obviously people want to get a bingo, but there's certain things that, like, as you know, myself and others included, try really hard to make the bingos happen. So I just want to talk a little bit about that, because I think it's a fun like side game, and it's one thing that I always look forward to every week.
Yeah, definitely. The bingo was kind of a fun idea, where I have like a 5x5 grid, and on this bingo card essentially is a lot of very small things that happen commonly over the course of a stream. Whether it's like over the course of a week. So I'll have like 25 squares on there. It'll be things as simple as like, oh, Kyle sings Disney, or like Kyle does something really cool and everybody agrees, or like Kyle like calls somebody by the wrong name or something like that. It's just you're right, it's a little side objective, a little side game, for those who are interested in, to maybe like, if they're paying attention, it gives them something to look forward to or something to look out for. Maybe they're not necessarily interested in what's going on in the game, but if I start singing Disney, then you bet your ass nobody like lets me forget that. As soon as I start singing Disney, everybody's like, is that on the bingo card? Because it creating fun things outside of just what we're playing right away, I think has helped people, whether it's like engagement or interest or asking questions or involvement. Like it's created a lot of fun and successful like opportunities. People ask about it all the time. We review it before stream, we review it after stream. Whenever we get a bingo, we usually add it to a pile. I have a total, like an accumulation. And then usually on Sundays, I'll roll. We have a wheel of, I guess, results, or a wheel of events or something like that, where we roll the wheel and do whatever is on the wheel, based on how many bingos we have. So like I'll have create new emotes, or I'll have like merch giveaway, or I'll have like Kyle needs to watch an anime, a movie, listen to music. Like there's basically giving myself homework for things that I do over the course of the stream that people like to call me out on, when there's no shortage of people that like to call me out on stuff.
Yes, present company included.
Never missed a single one. But it's okay. I'm glad to be kept honest, I guess.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, for those that are paying attention, I said that I would circle back on rune bears. And one thing that has been immensely entertaining for me is the crowd control games. And some people may not know about that. Some people may not know what that is. But I'll have you kind of explain that and why you chose to kind of foray into doing that.
Yeah, definitely. It's I guess to lay the foundation a little bit, I do really enjoy Souls games, whether it's Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Neo 1, Neo 2, Lords of the Fallen, the old one or the new one. There's a lot of different games of that genre that you can that I have played, and that I consider myself adept at. I can survive in them, I can thrive in them, a comment is that I often make those games look easier than they are, but that's not the point. The crowd control thing kind of adds another layer that allows people who are watching or viewers to directly interact. And basically it's a third party app that you're basically modifying the game that you're playing. You're modding the game. In this instance, oftentimes it's making it harder, where the crowd control essentially is pretty self-explanatory. If you show up, you can claim these currency called crowd control coins. There's then an interface that allows you to spend those coins to make the character in the game that I'm controlling, the player, make them big, make them small, make them fast, make them slow. You can spawn enemies on me, like you can spawn Melania on me. I've had one of the most wild instances I've ever had. I had 10 Melanias spawning on me, 10 of them. Like that boss is hard enough as it is. I managed to kill one of them, but that instance alone was ridiculously lucrative as well for me. But it was ridiculous. The most fanciest, like the fanciest way I've ever died. It was crazy. The most overkill thing you would ever see. But yeah, a lot of the fun from crowd control kind of comes with people who are hanging out, or the viewers are able to spawn enemies on me. I made very specific enemies a little bit cheaper than they probably should have been, for not showmanship's sake, but I was confident that I was able to handle a giant silver ball, or I don't know, a rune bear or 2 or 3 or 4 were spawned in all at once. Anybody who's played Elden Ring knows that the rune bears don't mess around, and especially the crowd control rune bear. This one is one of the bosses. It's not just your baby rune bear. It's a big one. But it's been a lot of fun. I've definitely latched onto that. That has become one of the tropes of the channel. The rune bear definitely lives on. I even have so I have a memento that another close friend had. They wrote us a card here the other day, and on that card it has art of a rune bear. So it has an Elden Ring character running away, and it says "Run, Tor, run!" and there's just a rune bear right behind it. So it just kind of goes to show you that fun things that happen online while we play games on the internet kind of can transcend that. We make some valuable friendships. We latch on to things that make us laugh, and we keep them around, I think, which is creating a fun space that people want to be and surrounded by friends is we've succeeded in that, I think, so far. And I'm excited for what else is to come, for sure.
Absolutely. And I have to say, probably one of my favorite crowd control moments was, and I'm sure that you remember the time that you were in that like elevator thing and people kept spawning balls on your head, where you literally couldn't do anything.
You just can't. The game, the physics in the game breaks if you're on an elevator, because you're on a platform that's moving up or down. The enemy, when they spawn an enemy on you, or at least the giant silver balls on you, it spawns exactly where you are, and it pushes you down through the geometry, through the elevator. So every time I'm on an elevator, I'm trying to run in circles and just jump, because as soon as somebody spawns a giant silver ball, I'm falling through the ground of the elevator and dying. So every elevator becomes a very dangerous situation, and I either need to do it quickly or I need to do what I can to stay away from them. Take the stairs if I can.
It was funny the first couple of times, and then I started to feel bad.
There are people who are like you. There are people who have a little bit of sympathy, and then there are the people who don't, and they just do it and do it and do it and do it.
So you finished doing Elden Ring for now, and I understand that you're going to kind of do some more of the crowd control. And so just for those that don't already watch your stream that may be interested, what is on the horizon for that?
Yeah, I have a laundry list of games to play, whether it's Steam or Nintendo or PlayStation or whatever. But specifically with crowd control, I'm looking to jump into some Fallout 4 pretty soon. Fallout's the one of the new hotness, that series that came out. We watched that kind of over the course of 2 or 3 days, and it revitalized Fallout for a lot of people. I was very impressed with the show, so I definitely want to hop back in. One of the redemptions in particular in Fallout 4 is you can spawn 30 feral ghouls at once, like as a single redemption, and I've seen it in action, and it is very chaotic. But other games that I'm looking to play crowd control as well. Like I want to play some Skyrim. I was also looking to play some Legend of Zelda Wind Waker eventually. Those ones they're not too high on the list, but they definitely are games that I'm interested in playing soon. Other games that I'm looking forward to playing. I have the Elden Ring DLC is coming out on June 21st, I think. There's a whole bunch of other games. Like I want to play Black Myth Wukong, which is in August. We have what else is there? Demon Souls. We're gonna do a themed run of Demon Souls where it's called Fashion Souls. We're gonna do a run of Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2, where folks in the chat or folks in the community are able to influence what I'm wearing, what I'm using, like armor and weapons, based on bits or gift subs or whatever. Like whatever you say, I will have to do. It's not necessarily an official crowd control interaction, but it's a way for interactivity and a way to screw me over if that's what you really want. I want to jump into Pacific Drive. Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door is also there. That'll be fun to flex our voice acting. I guess I don't want to say skills, but just to flex our voice acting a little bit. I thoroughly enjoy that side, the performative side of games like that too. So a story game like Paper Mario and the 1,000 Year Door, I think provides a fun opportunity to get a little playful with a lot of the voices. Hades 2, I want to jump back into the new Lords of the Fallen. I never quite finished the playthrough of that. Pacific Drive, like there's the list of games that I want to play is very long, and I think we would probably need another podcast session entirely to cover some of those. But I guess the moral at the end of the story are like there's nothing specific. A lot of variety. I'm never locking myself into one thing. I do what I want to do for the most part. Sometimes I'll play the new hotness. Sometimes I'll play what I want to play. As long as it kind of stays fun, as long as I'm having fun with it, then that's all I can really ask for. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good strategy. So people certainly seem to like it. So if if you're watching this and you don't currently follow Totally Cow or you don't subscribe, I would recommend you do that so that you could either make his day better or ruin it completely, whatever you choose to do.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity. It's been really cool. We met some really cool people, like especially within the past couple months, but like it's been a very fun for almost 4 years now. Like we're going to be coming up on 4 years. I think the affiliate anniversary is in December of 2024. So like we're about 3.5 years now. So and I'm excited for more to come. Like I have no plans on stopping. I have no plans on like slowing down. Sometimes life gets in the way where again, I kind of work like an 8 to 5 and 9 to 6 kind of job. I also you have friends outside of like you have your real life friends. Like not only do we have the online community, our Discord, the streams, we have like real life friends I need to stay on top of. I need to make sure my physical health is fine. I spend a lot of time sitting at work, and I also spend a lot of time sitting playing games. So there's a lot of things that go into making sure that stream stays active and engaging, and the rest of your life is also moving forward in a positive direction.
Yes, exactly. I know firsthand for having done this for 2 years that sometimes you have to remember to take care of yourself and you don't always have to push so hard. So it's always a balance.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself too. It's so easy to burn out whether you're getting overwhelmed by your professional side or you're feeling like you're not succeeding at particular spaces. You definitely need to be able to identify to care for yourself, to make sure that you're treating your body well, that you're sleeping right, that you're doing whatever is within your power to stay healthy and to make like it's all very important to creating a space, to creating an environment, to being somebody that people want to engage with. It all kind of comes together at the end of the day, for sure.
Yes. Well, again, make sure I'm going to put links in the description, follow, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Kyle is good people, and all of the streamy friends are good people. So lots of good content out there for those who enjoy gaming and like to watch stuff on Twitch. And also for everyone who is watching, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel as well, as we are getting very close to 1,000 subscribers, and I really, really want to hit that mark as my goal this year. So please make sure that you do that. Like, comment, share, all of that good stuff, and we will see everybody next time on the show.